athletes, and neighbors, not just to move, but also to go for something bigger. As you know, some of you know that I do have a terminal disease. It's a stage 4 cancer. It's rare, it's right by my heart, and it has spread throughout my lungs and just throughout my bones. And I was told that 3.5 years ago that I had 5 years to live, but I'm here. I've never looked sick, so which is great. Every day is not easy. I have shortness of breath, dizziness, I have chronic pain. Actually, about 4 weeks ago, my vertebral bodies broke, so that's rough. And I have fatigue. But every day is a gift. Every day is a chance for me to show defiance. Every day is a fight for small battles. And today, I want to leave you with 3 truths, 3 takeaways, 3 things I hope you'll carry with you long after your last loop is done. First, lean into discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in doubt, pain, and uncertainty. I trained for ultramarathons, getting lost in Lake Tahoe mountains. I have swam in the freezing waters of San Francisco Bay. I have endured broken bones and pushed through dizziness and fainting spells of cancer. This year, I've struggled through 3 races, a far cry from my usual 10 races, just to cross the finish line trying to fight passing out. I know my racing days are over, but failure has never been wasted. It has always been the classroom where I learned resilience. A year ago, I competed in the Kona Ironman World Championships, a 2.4-mile ocean swim, a 112-mile bike ride through the lava fields, and a 26.2-mile run in the heat. I was stung by a jellyfish, and all I can say was, bleep you jellyfish, I've got bigger problems. I had to flip over so many times on my back. My face swelled up because the tumors have been blocking the blood vessels in my body. And after 19 minutes, I only had swum half the distance. With 2 minutes to spare, I staggered out of the ocean, ugly crying, not because I finished, but because I had the chance to complete what I started. Discomfort will break you down, but it will also open you up to what you're capable of. Look into what ails you: chronic illness, injury, injustice, loss, mental struggle. Failures are not the end. They are the ingredients of resilience. True endurance requires kindness to yourself, knowing when to rest, knowing that you are more than your sport, your job, your titles. And it requires lifting each other when we are down. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It comes when you lean into doubt and pain. Confidence requires evidence, and that evidence is the silent work that you put in. Not kudos, not likes, not recognition. So when the hill feels too steep, when your legs burn, when doubt in life creeps in, lean in. That's where the transformation begins. Number 2, the second takeaway: endure with purpose. Endurance is not about speed. It's about persistence, showing up again and again, even when you don't feel like it. I've had races where every step hurt. I've had moments in this cancer journey that felt the same. I call it my Sisyphean journey, pushing the rock uphill, only to be flattened, then choosing to rise again. The lesson is not to push blindly. The lesson is that movement itself is defiance. The lesson is that movement itself is life. And the secret I've learned: break it down. Run to the next tree. walk to the next lamppost. For me, just take the next breath. This is the beauty of JP's Backyard Ultra. Every hour you start again. Each loop is a fresh start. That's life. You don't have to carry the weight of the whole journey, just the next step. Endurance is built not in grand gestures, but in small, faithful steps done consistently. It's persistence holding steady when things don't go your way. True endurance, especially to the young people out here, I want you to know that true endurance asks you to find your why. When you know your why, you stop just racing. You actually begin racing with purpose. You begin racing for something bigger than yourself. Dedicate a loop to your why today. For someone you lost to cancer, for someone who is still fighting, or your own personal goal. Let that purpose carry you. And when life feels overwhelming, break it down. Lamppost to lamppost, breath to breath. Sometimes all it takes is a few seconds to reset and begin again. Train your body, yes, but train your mind. You need patience, and make patience a practice. Not just to yourself, but for those who need you most. Number 3, live with urgency and compassion. That, when I was told I've had 5 years to live, that reality gave me clarity. Time is short, but it's enough if you use it well. In The Lord of the Rings, Frodo laments the heavy burden he carries. Gandalf replies, all we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given to us. I call this stage in my life the art of dying. Understanding that living well and dying well is inseparably connected. Mortality is not a reason to give up. It's an invitation to love more urgently, to serve more deeply, to give yourself fully to what matters most. In my Filipino culture, we have 2 beautiful concepts. Number 1 is bayanihan. No one is left behind. Number 2 is kapwa. We are neighbors, kindred spirits, fellow humans. And here's the challenge. We live in a world that often feels divided by language, by culture, by beliefs, by injustice. That division can leave us anxious, angry, or hopeless. But underneath it all, we share something deeper, our humanity. In my own life, some of the most meaningful giving I've done has been invisible. Acts no one else would ever see. I may not agree with the person in front of me. They may not look like me. We may not share the same beliefs or religion. But I've learned not to judge. And I chose to give a kind word, a gesture, sometimes a little money to help them throughout the day or buy their next meal. These moments didn't need to be seen by anyone. What mattered was that they were felt by the person in front of me. That's what compassion is. Quiet, simple, but powerful enough that it can change the course of someone's day. Being a force for good isn't about being the fastest athlete, the top student, or the most accomplished professional. It's about being the best friend, the most supportive teammate, the best son or daughter, the kindest neighbor, the one who chooses compassion, especially when the road ahead is uncertain. True strength begins with kindness to yourself. And its greatest power comes when you extend that kindness to others. Carry someone, encourage a stranger, share a smile, cheer for the runner or hiker who looks like they're about to stop. And don't wait for a diagnosis to live with urgency. Ask yourself tonight, what would I do differently if time were short? How would I love harder? How would I serve more deeply? Start doing that now, because the race of life is not won alone. Friends, I may lose this war against cancer, but I choose to win daily battles by moving, by serving, by loving, by building community. That's why this event exists, not just to challenge ourselves, but to remind each other that we are not alone. So as you run or hike today, or simply to move through the tumult of life, remember these three truths. Lean into discomfort. That's where growth lives. Endure with purpose. Find your why. Hold the line and race for something bigger than yourself. And finally, live with urgency and compassion. Carry one another and let no one be left behind. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice." In my own life, I have come to believe the arc of the awakening consciousness is long, but it bends toward love. And in a time when the world pulls us apart, let us show that what binds us together, our shared humanity, our capacity for kindness, and our choice, be a force for good. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Take care of each other. We have 9 minutes. We're going to transfer over by the arch, and our timer will sound the siren to let everybody go at 8 o'clock. Thank you, everyone.